Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is PrivateCitizen. It's been a while since I made a video, but today I'm going over the Kuryakyn upper air deflectors. Comes in a box, yay size. I did order from Amazon, if you couldn't tell. Why did I get these? Well, I transitioned from riding sport bikes to touring bikes. The Goldwing's my first full tour, or actually first tour period. And I realized that I like riding in colder weather, which is something I would never try on the sport bike. But the issue I have is my hands getting cold. All the rest of me seems pretty good. My legs are a little bit cool, but I can just wear extra pants. But I feel like my hands are just a little bit too cold. So I wanted something to help keep the wind off. Okay, so I looked online. People kind of said that either you need a bigger windscreen or upper air deflectors. So I looked into the air deflectors. The OEM ones were almost $300, like $280, $250, something like that. So I did check like Cruiseman's Garage and his review on the OEM style, and he said that they work pretty well. And they also required you to do some modding to the bike, so you had to cut some holes. They were pre-marked holes. They come pre-marked from the factory where you need to cut those holes, but it was still cutting holes. So I decided to go with the Kuryakyn ones because I like the styling, and they actually don't require you to make any cuts on the bike. So if I take them off, I can put the bike back to stock in that area, with no issues. All right, so I wind up getting them. So what do I think of them? All right, so number one, they feel pretty sturdy. You can see the thickness of the glass. I wish I had something that I could, okay. So here's a 5mm hex key. And I will put it, I'm gonna try to put it to the side so you can get an idea. That's probably not working. Let me try it like this, so you can get an idea of exactly how thick it is. So that's with the 5mm next to it. And this is with a 4mm hex. So it's probably about 4mm, or at least the size of this across. 4mm hex key, okay. Other things you need to know. So when I first got these, I thought there were scratches on them. I was gonna send them back. If you can see right about here, there's a little line. There you go. Can you see it? In fact, there's a little line there. So, like I said, I thought it was a scratch, but when I compared it to the other one, it has the same exact mark. If you can see right here, see, it has the same exact mark, same exact length, same exact position on it. The other thing I noted, it's kind of a rough edge here on the top. I don't know if you can see that. So these are in some kind of form, I guess, and made and then just popped out of the form. So that part I really wasn't too crazy about. I mean, it's really minor. I don't know that it's a defect, but more so, like I said, something from the forming process. Definitely will pass the 6-foot test. And the other part is, I noticed that these, which they don't tell you online, once you have them installed on the bike, their position clicks. So you will click them open and then click them close. It's not like a middle of the road type thing, or you move them out a little or in a little. You either click it so that it's blocking the air, or clicking it so it's letting the air in, one or the other. Now the instructions that came with these said, because this is how it came out of the box, already put together. But the instructions said, take this out, take the screw out so that this piece is removed. And then take this piece and install it on a bike. And then once it's on the bike, you want to then reinstall this by putting a screw on. But I would say if you're really savvy and you have a long enough hex key, you could just remove the screw that's already on the bike and then screw this whole assembly in one shot. If you do it that way, it'll probably take you 10 minutes to do both sides and you'll be totally finished with the installation. The only other thing I would say is, so when you tighten down this screw here, you want it tight enough that the deflector holds in place while you're going down the highway without moving on its own, which it should, because it looks like it's connected in the middle of the airflow, so the air will be pushing on both sides at the same time. But you don't want it so tight that when you go to rotate this, it rotates this whole piece. But you want it tight enough so it doesn't move freely. So that's a hint, I guess, because some people were saying that the screws come loose. Or one person said that they actually broke it trying to move it. So you don't want it too tight. You might even want to try to put some thread lock on there to keep the screw from backing out once it's in. So that's about it. I hope that helped people decide whether they want to get them or not. Once I put them on, I'll do another review to let you know how I like them. All right. Thanks for watching. All right, so it's time for the install. I'm on the left side of the bike facing forward. Would be the clutch side if there was a clutch, but I have the automatic. So this is 5mm. Boom, comes off. Find a nice place to put it. And this just installs. So there's a lip here. I don't know if you can see this lip. And what you want to do is when you install it, have it so that it catches on this lip. These two screws and the two washers, other than the assemblies that I showed you previously. I don't know if you can see that. But that's all that came with it. It was the two air deflectors pre-assembled and these two bolts and washers. Okay, so I have the bolt with the washer. Make sure I have the right Allen key. So this is a 4mm. So it's a 5mm to remove the OEM screw, and it's a 4mm for the Kuryakyn one. Put the screw in there. I'm going to try it this way first. Okay, so this doesn't work. All right, so you do have to disassemble it. Trying to do it, while the piece is fully assembled is a little too difficult. So I was wrong with that. So while I'm doing this air deflector install, I wanted to take time to correct an error. I kind of lied to all of y'all before. I didn't know I was lying at the time, but in a previous video, I had said how my butt was getting used to riding, and I think it just takes time to get used to and settled in, and then you can ride longer distances. Well, that all turned out to be false. So I was still having problems like right around the 30-minute mark riding. My butt would get sore, try to move around, get more comfortable. But long story short, I wind up getting the Wingsoft seat. You can probably see like the line here. It looks like they added the pad right about here. I did not get the flattening of this portion here, but I did have the padding added to the rear passenger. So I think it's something like $449 for this part without getting this done. and then it was maybe like another 40 or 50 bucks for the padding here. Now it looks like just, you know, he removed the covering, right? Put the padding on and put the covering back. Probably some, you know, I'm simplifying it, but I feel like for the options that are available out there, this is probably one of the most economical ones that actually does work. I have noticed that since I've put it on, or I've gotten this back, I haven't had any issues at all riding. I haven't rode any like multi-hour trips yet. Well, I'm dying to, but I have ridden, you know, about an hour plus, you know, maybe like 65 minutes, something like that, hour 5. And I have not had an issue at all with the bike. I still feel the seat warmers through it just fine. I don't have any issues at all. You do feel like you sit a little bit higher, maybe half inch, 3/4 inch, something like that. I know that seems imperceptible, or perceivable, sorry, but yeah, it actually does make me feel like I'm sitting a little bit higher. But if you're looking to get a more comfortable seat and you don't want to break the bank, this is a way to do it. And then even if this does not work for you, you can still sell this seat online with the mod, and somebody should be able to, you know, buy it. But I would definitely start with this and see if you like it, because it made a big difference for me. Now, I'm not an iron butt guy. I don't plan to do like, you know, 24 hours straight, 44, you know, anything like that. But yeah, for me, it worked. All right, so back to business. Okay, so to remove this, it's actually a 5mm hex. And the video online, someone else's video online actually said, well, actually the only other video online about installing these, on YouTube anyway, said there's 2 screws in here, so you want to be careful not to lose them. Okay. Oop. So I'm off to a terrible start, people. All right. So the screw is out. Okay. Look, I rescued the piece. Okay. So now what I want to do is install this onto the bike. And this one uses installed it. Oh, shoot. I guess I should keep the bloopers in. I don't know. Install this onto the bike, and this uses the 4mm. Okay. So let's move on over. All right. So again, here's the edge. You want to catch the edge or rest up against it. Put the screw in the hole. Put that on the edge. And hopefully the threads catch, which they did. Huh. So surprisingly, that was simple. Okay. So you don't want to over tighten, I'm sure. But I think, like I said in one of my previous videos, I gotta do my Uncle Ralph. My Uncle Ralph always had to get an extra turn on there. I mean, of course, he wound up breaking up stuff, but you do want to make sure that's tight, and it's tight. So surprisingly, I think I'm going to do that again because you might not be able to see it. Okay, so here's a screw, 4mm. Kuryakyn screw, which is 4. Like I said, the OEM is 5. And here's the edge. And make sure that you catch that edge with this edge. I don't know if you can see that edge. Okay. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's marked with an L, so that you know which side is the left and which side is the right. And that's it. It's on there. I hope you can see that. There really wasn't much to it. Actually, I'm kind of surprised how easy the install is for this. I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit do my little Uncle Ralph. He would always get that extra turn and break the bolts on his trucks, but and that's it. And it feels pretty snug, like it's not going anywhere. So that's it. Now I just gotta put the switch from a 4mm to a 5. And we got the air deflector, and here is the bolt. I don't know if you can see it with the screws. Okay, so same thing. We'll put that through there like that. 5mm hex. Okay, that's not working. Let's try it a little differently. Okay. So let's open and close. So that's it. Okay. The mirror still folds in, no issues. So let's do it. Let me show you what the fit looks like. I think you can see that. Now that's actually blocking the wind. And that's letting the wind pass. So I wanted to show what it looks like installed, letting the air pass, which you can see in this picture. And this is what it looks like letting the air pass while sitting on the bike. This photo shows what it looks like blocking the air, and then what that looks like while sitting on the bike. I like how they don't stick out far from the bike. It makes it look a little streamlined. And lastly, these are the washers that I use. There's a picture of the package in case you want to get them from, I think I got them from Home Depot or Lowe's, the lock washers. Finally, have a Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching.